Welcome to week 10 of the 52-week art journal journey. For this week's small art, I'm using inexpensive bottled acrylic paint, 1 tube of Liquitex also. And if you would like these to perform more like the thicker tubed acrylic paint, I recently learned a fun art hack that I haven't yet tried but have seen done. And I thought you might also like to know about it too, if you'd like to try. Is just take your thinner acrylic paint and add cornstarch. I also have a variety of brushes and other less standard art supplies to create texture on my journal page. I remembered to protect my work surface today with a sheet of newsprint, which I remember to do sometimes, which provides the added benefit of having a place to wipe excess paint off my brush. That gives me fun scraps to use for cut paper collage. A way to protect the other pages in our journal is by sliding a piece of scrap paper beneath the page on which we're working. This is particularly good for watercolor paints, though I didn't think to use it last week, and it will also be helpful with the acrylics. Before you get started with this week's project, I want you to think about a memory of something that happened while you were growing up. Something that had an impact on your life. Something with strong emotion attached. The things that stick with us tend to be the things that made us feel something. Things that made us feel really good, or that made us feel pretty bad. Things that made us the happiest, or were the hardest to deal with. The memory I'm painting today is not a pleasant one. But I started with some bright, sunny, happy colors because part of the memory's impact on me was how it was set against the cheerfulness of happy childhood memories. Yes, today we are painting memories like we drew emotions. If you missed that video, especially if this feels strange or awkward to you, you may want to go back and work through the drawing of the emotions first. There's a link in the description. The first thing you need to do is choose some colors that represent the emotions of the memory. When you have your supplies together and have chosen your colors to start with, just paint. Here's something new I tried for texture this week. It's the inner packaging from a package of gluten-free table crackers. Be creative. I know that for most of us, it doesn't come naturally to give color and line and shape to something invisible, something that we feel. But if I can get comfortable with it, so can you. If it sounds intimidating, don't worry. It's just your art journal. Your art journal is a safe place to express yourself in art and words and experiment without fear of judgment. If you're judging your art too harshly, I'm here to tell you to stop and just make the art. This needs to dry a bit before I decide whether to add some more or if it's good the way it is. In the meantime, here is some other painting. My currently favorite type of abstracts. I thought these leftover paint splotches might make some cool poppy petals, so I'll be setting those aside with my other fun paint scraps. So as I said, just paint. Be creative. Don't think too much about it. As in, don't analyze each choice, each step. Just paint from that place, that memory, those feelings, and the feelings it generates in you now. This project, in part, is because last weekend I was blindsided by some memories that I never really forget, but the emotional weight of them doesn't usually bother me. But I was out of the blue knocked sideways. And this week, I'm art journaling it out. On your journaling page this week, write your memory, what happened, and how it felt. You can also journal about how the colors you chose and how you used them represent the memory and its emotions. Be sure you don't skip this week's small art, because we'll be using it again next week. I hope you found value in this week's prompt. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe. As I mentioned, I'll be back next week with another prompt. If ever you feel like sharing your art on social media, be sure to tag me and or use the hashtag ArtJournalWithMelinda. As always, the link to this week's prompt in written form on the website is in the description. You can also sign up for weekly email encouragement, a little bit of extra encouragement to go along with each week's prompt. Feel free to follow along on Instagram or my Facebook page. Thanks again for the opportunity to encourage you to reclaim your creativity and take time for creative self-care. We are wired for creativity, made in the image of the Creator. Discovering art journaling last year had a huge impact on my life. It's changed me in almost every area. For years, I refused to take the time to make art, even though it makes such a huge difference in my mental and emotional and spiritual health. And that's why the 52-week art journal journey exists, so I can share with others what I've found. And if you need it, give you the permission to take the time to art. It's not a waste of time. Now that it's dry, I see I like this just the way it is.